begins with red drops on a white background. Careful, you don't want to stain your title card! The movie begins with another head in Patrick Bateman's fridge. Hope he buys those in bulk at Costco.
The movie begins in space! The movie begins with a photo booth filter teaser trailer for the movie you're about to watch.
The season begins in June 1984, placing this opening scene between seasons 1 and 2. The movie begins with a quick checkup on Cameron, Allison's unfaithful Dunaway who got ditched at the dance last movie. The movie begins with a syrupy studio name and the waveform of a handsome voice.
Mrs. French's cat is missing.
The movie begins by bringing back John Larroquette for his third narrated intro of the series. The movie begins with a job interview, but Iris ain't getting the job. Bad news for her, since she needs the money to take care of her brother Rally. The movie begins with a title card. Yo, is that the bat signal back there? The movie begins in 1780 at the Transylvanian home of the Drac Man himself. The movie begins like the original with a drone shot of Detroit. Makes me homesick. Too bad, just like with the original, only a few exteriors were shot on location. The movie begins with a blinky blacklight title card. With a warning that this is based on a true story. Like with Texas Chainsaw Massacre, that's only partly true. I'll point out the true crime details later. The movie begins with a Chi-Town chase. Detective Mike Norris tries. The movie begins with an eyeball! Chucky's getting. The movie begins with a 4x3 fake out before dollying out of a barn into a full 16x9 frame. The movie begins with an 8-year late cleanup of Chucky's mess from Child's Play 2. The movie begins with some disembodied hands leafing through an encyclopedia. Ah yes, lycanthropy, werewolf disease. The movie begins in the kill count prop closet. Hey Ben, could you please put that shit back in their bins? These evidence lockers. The movie begins with Kurt Siodmak's werewolf poem from the original.
Even a man who is pure of heart and says his prayers by night may become a wolf when the wolf's bane blooms and the autumn moon is bright.
The movie begins with the sticky miracle of life. Congratulations, it's a healthy baby title card! Delivery truck on its way to a spooky house. It begins with Andy Barkley getting cock-blocked by his past. The series begins with a point-of-view shot, similar to the beginning of Seed of Chucky, which the movie begins with tools and craftsmanship. The movie begins at Willy's Wonderland, where a couple wearing matching merch runs from an unseen assailant through Doctor Who hallways. The special begins with a universal horror spin on the classic MCU intro. And the movie begins with, oh, son of a Steven, a baseball game. The movie begins on a misty November morning. The movie begins with a sloppy sapphic smoochin' sesh, and it lasts for over a minute, legit. The movie begins in 1993 at the Simeon Research Hospital. The movie begins with a bilingual bedtime story.
Sorry.
The movie begins with amateur inventor Rand Peltzer singing R.E.M.
That's me there on the corner.
That's him at the stoplight, hawking his contraptions. The movie begins with a Looney Tunes short, pretending that this about to be a silly one. The phone call. Oh man, someone dialed title card! The movie begins like the first one, with a 90s actress about to watch a scary movie. The movie begins in Hollywood! Ooh, looks like the bowl's letting out. The movie begins with a quote. That's, Edgar Allan Poe, right? Oh, no, Ronald Reagan. That makes more sense. Like always, with a phone call. The movie begins, all together now, with a phone call. The famous